Right.
All right, so I'm just gonna do that and let the stream build back up. I'm looking at CPU usage, and it's like 33, 26, 24, 31. Okay. All
It
right.
might be more of a RAM thing than your CPU usage, because what you're doing is not necessarily the difficult part. It's
Y-
the fact that you have multiple programs open at the same time. You are
Yeah.
holding a lot of memory. That's what it is. It's a RAM thing more than
So,
processing.
so I would have to go out and buy more memory.
I would say that, but
Okay.
I would say that, but it depends on how old your computer is, and you have to buy the right kind of memory.
Yeah, I bought it. So the computer is like a year. Well, I've had it. I bought it about a year. I bought it in December of 21.
Okay, yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, it should be. It
But
should be
did you
fantastic.
you bought it for the intention of
Yeah,
streaming it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. How much did you spend on it? Or
Nothing,
where'd you buy it from?
nothing. Like $500. Got it from Walmart.
Oh, that's the issue. Because
Yeah,
while it's good. It may not hold you down for like
yeah.
next year or the year after that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey, yo,
because the
Adam.
thing,
Adam is like, where's the link? Adam, I'm gonna send you the link. But if we having them kind of conversations, bro, you ain't staying. Sorry to be blunt with it, but that like last night, we can't have another night like last night, bro. And wait, I should have told Adam that to his. I gotta tell Adam that to his face, cause that wasn't classy. My bad, Adam. Let me tell you, I need to tell you that. Why you? I need to tell Adam that to his eyeball to eyeball, cause the joint last night, man, that was crazy.
it's a little up and down.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was. I don't know. It just seemed. I don't know. It was just distracting. So, but
Mhm.
I did send it though. I think he got it. That was odd. B baller for real is in the building. Jeremy Nussbaum. Hey y'all, thank y'all man for hanging in there with me.
Hey, Freezy, I might need to refresh because
Okay.
I can't see the chat on stream yard, so I'll just refresh.
Okay.
All right,
There it
yeah.
is. There it is. There it is. Okay. All right, we back y'all. I think I may have had a setting wrong. I think it may have been that was probably my fault. How I sound to y'all though? Everything good?
Yo, the audio sounds real good. Maybe let me check out the actual YouTube stream.
Okay. Yeah, I need to check that out. Making sure that we rocking and rolling. The funny thing is, this always happen like this at night. I don't know why it's never like this in the daytime.
Oh man, Freezy, the audio sounds real crispy.
Okay, okay,
It sounds better.
okay. Oh yeah, the audio is super dope. Yeah. All right,
I
y'all.
think what I think when you change the settings in OBS, did you close it at any time?
No,
Then you just well, that's probably needed to close it all the way out, and
and then
then
bring
it
it
would
back.
lock in those settings. Yep.
Right. All right. Good. 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 All right. So yeah, y'all. Just really quick, man. Just want to say this one thing about the Johnny Bryant and Tibbs thing. Yeah. Comega says the Cavs, aka Adam, hacked the hack. No, Adam didn't do it. No, that wasn't Adam. Adam is our guy. Adam is our guy. Adam, you know what I'm saying, is our guy. That's our man's. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. Yeah, but anyway, back on to our topic. Dre, you ready to chop it up, bro?
Yeah, I'm good to go, man.
Okay. So the thing with Tibbs and Johnny Bryant is, even though I think Tibbs maybe um I'm looking for the word. May want to keep doing it. I think Tibbs has redeemed himself. I think he would be okay walking off in the sunset, especially if the Knicks make a run. If the Knicks go on a magic carpet ride, I think he'd be okay with it. I think that's probably what he prefers. Adam, what's good, man?
What's good, y'all?
Hey, you got your energy up? You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I was watching 2 exciting basketball games today.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I think Tibbs on this magic carpet ride. If he goes on a magic carpet ride, bro, I think he would be okay seeding or playing out the successive role to Johnny Bryant, where Tibbs moves into the front office and becomes an everyday decision maker, and Johnny Bryant does the day-to-day coaching.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to see that too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you could necessarily play the clip, but the thing where I was talking about Emmanuel quickly, and not to harp on that too much, but it seems like he has like a firm grasp on the entire team.
Right. And YouTube is bugging out. It's the reason why I don't even play y'all intros as much.
Yeah, because they're gonna spaz out on.
Yeah. It's the reason why I don't even do the intros as much, and it has nothing to do with y'all or any of that stuff. It's just that their policy changed as of January 1st, and even when I was doing it, you know what I'm saying?
It was still saying you notices, probably.
Yeah.
Notifications, flagging stuff.
Yeah, and I did nothing to change anything. You know what I'm saying? I used, and as a matter of fact, the audio for your intros is YouTube approved artists in their audio library, and they still do it. So I mean, what can you do? Thank you, YouTube.
No fun allowed.
Yes, no fun allowed. How do you feel about Chicago beating Toronto though?
I'm kind of disappointed because
What?
if we're trying to entertain the idea of going into the next round,
Right.
you would want a team with physicality or a team that's scrappy to, not necessarily beat the Bucks, but to be an irritant or wear them down.
Yeah.
And the only option left is the Miami Heat. And out of the two, I guess I'll go Miami or the Bulls, but it's looking like both of them won't get washed.
But it looks like both of them are going to get turned over, like a dessert.
4 games. Like they're gonna get wiped up in 4 games, and then the Bucks are gonna be waiting on us for a week while they're getting healthy.
Yeah.
While we're in a dogfight.
Yep, with Cleveland.
Yeah. Right. So it's one of those things. Like you want your opponent to go through a long series if you're going through a long series.
Yeah. Yeah.
But within reason, because momentum and staying ready matters. But you want that number 1 seed to somehow end up in a 6-gamer, even if it's like some weird way they end games, or you want them to be in a series as long as possible.
Right. That's ultimately where I'm with it, man. And my preference, right? Even though I love Atlanta, my preference would have been for Miami to get their hands on the Celtics, right? And Toronto to get their hands on the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
And then that way, two teams with coaches that have won NBA titles would be dusting up our biggest opponents.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna come out of those battles with contusions.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
it might be a sprained ankle here and there.
yeah. That's what ultimately. Would I prefer Eric Spoelstra against the young Boston Celtics coach? Yes. Would I prefer Nick Nurse against the Bucks coach? Yes. Right. I mean, because ultimately the rosters are not good enough to be a championship contender, and if they were, they wouldn't be in a play-in situation.
Yeah, they would be pushing us out of the playoffs, but they're
Right,
not.
right, right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at, man. And when you look at when you look at the championship level coaches in the Eastern Conference right now, I mean,
hmm
did the who's Chicago's coach? Rick Carlisle?
Chicago Bulls? No, it's
Oh, I forget his
a New
name.
Yorker. He's a New Yorker at that.
Billy Donovan. That's who it
Yeah,
is.
Billy Donovan. Yeah,
Yeah, Billy
Billy
Donovan. That's
Donovan.
who it is. He went to Providence College. Yeah, yeah. I would prefer like these battle scarred coaches to go into their bag of tricks in the off season, right? Against these. I mean, not in the off season, in the postseason
But in a
against these opponents. Yeah.
yeah, like to go through every last turn over every last stone.
Right. Right.
Try to maximize everything because that's what they're pretty much good at.
Yeah.
Is maximizing their talent if
Yeah.
it's limited at that moment,
Yeah.
just to compete.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. Last year, the Raptors played the Sixers in the first round. The Raptors weren't supposed to win that series, but they took 2 games, I believe, and went 6 games,
Right.
and they beat up the Sixers.
Right.
It was
And
death
and
by
the
a thousand
Sixers
cuts.
and then the Sixers lost in the second round.
Right. So it's one of those things where you kind of you want to see the better teams get put through a test physically and mentally.
Right.
You don't want them well rested and like they have a week off before their next series and they're running into a team that just went through a bloodbath,
Right.
which might be us because I think we're pretty evenly matched with Cleveland.
Yeah.
We might be more physical than them, but they're gonna ratchet up their physicality just to keep up with us.
Right.
And then the referees aren't gonna call everything, so it's gonna be one of those things where if it ends in 6, it won't be an easy 6.
Right.
It'll be close games all the way.
Right. I'm
But it's
comfortable. I'm comfortable with that.
yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I'm kind of wary of what happens after that.
Mm, yeah.
We have depth,
Yeah.
which helps
Yeah.
in that case in that scenario, but there is mental fatigue.
Um.
That is always a thing.
How comfortable are you with this um narrative? Because it's a narrative because we don't know it to be fact
Mm,
that Tibbs
right.
is going to walk off into the sunset. Like on a scale of 0 to 100, where would you rate that in terms of a possibility?
75.
Wow. Okay, I'm at about 30.
Really, like it's like like Tibbs has been out of character for what we know Tibbs
I know.
for being
I know. Yep.
for the last decade.
Yep. Decade or so in my mind, but yeah.
And I feel like he has like a new lease on his proverbial basketball life.
Right. He didn't like the way he went out in Minnesota, and he feels like he's redeemed himself.
He's established a culture in
Right.
the team that he grew up watching.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And I don't think necessarily bringing a title will be the ultimate fulfillment thing for him as far as coaching. But I feel like staying in the organization is probably the most important thing to him.
I think so.
More than coaching. I feel like he wants to have an imprint that's like almost Pat Riley-esque. Not exactly Pat Riley, but he wants to have an imprint and a name that resides in this. Like, he wants to retire a New York Knick. He wants his story to end as executive in the New York Knicks for this amount of time.
And that fits the order of succession, right? Right? Because I think Leon Rose wants the same thing. It's the reason why he took the job. Leon Rose was in life, in terms of life, Leon Rose has won.
Everything he's done, he has succeeded in.
Yeah, the game of life, Leon Rose has won. In terms of the Knicks, though, the Knicks is the biggest challenge in both of their careers.
Yeah,
it's
still a work in progress, and it's something that the curious question of the Knicks and fixing the Knicks. It's something that doesn't get figured out in 3 years.
Yeah, you can't figure it out in 3 years because the solutions to a lot of the questions are not even though you know the answer, but knowing the answer and acquiring the solution are two different things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like trying to fix something. You know how to fix it, but you don't have the tools
or the pieces, all the people to install it, all the people to monitor it. Yeah, all the people to monitor it. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why companies have help desk. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro.
Got to outsource these sort of things.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It is, and I feel like maybe it's not this year, but when he does ultimately call it quits in terms of coaching, he's going to be in this front office.
I think it's this year.
Over the summer.
Yeah. The Toronto job is open, or is going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The Toronto job is going to be open. Let's list them. You know what? As opposed to guessing, let's list the possible places that may be open. Right. All right.
The Pistons are open.
All right. So the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Pistons. Rockets.
Yeah, Pistons, Rockets, Raptors.
Raptors. I'm going to put a question mark by Raptors because we think it's going to be open. We're confident it will be open. Right? Mm-hmm. Who else you got?
Let me see.
I'm gonna throw one out there, and it's gonna make you laugh. But I think the Sixers are going to be open.
Oh, right. Because I don't see them winning the title, and this is Doc Rivers like last year.
Yep, I think the Sixers are going to be open. Who else? Adam, you got any team you feel like is going to be open?
I don't even know what you guys talking about. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We're talking about.
Well, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about it. Hey, so Dre, you got any others?
The Bulls might have a hot seat.
The Bulls may have a hot seat. Okay. The Bulls.
I think Jamal Mosley is pretty safe. He's not going.
Jamal Mosley is a hot candidate, bro. If man, listen, if Orlando was crazy enough to let him go, bro, Jamal Mosley would be a head coach tomorrow. And it might be. And hey, what about Dallas? You think Dallas is okay?
Jason Kidd is on the hot seat.
Okay, so
Dallas, but I don't know if he's going to. I think they already said like he's going to come back next year.
Okay.
But if they start slow next year, he's going to get axed.
If Jamal Mosley becomes available, Jason Kidd is gone. Reuniting Luka and Jamal Mosley, it's a match made. It's like Johnny Bryant and Dame Lillard, bro. If they could ever reunite, bro, is speaking of Portland, You think Portland might be open? I'm asking. No? Yes?
Not this year. They're gonna give him one more year.
Okay. All right.
I think depending on how the Wolves season and Chris Finch run together,
Yeah, and
because he makes a lot of boneheaded like coaching decisions.
I think Chris Finch is an excellent coach. I think Chris Finch has a low IQ team.
Yeah, right, and he's like right place, wrong time.
Yeah. Anthony
Because
Edwards.
if he had Anthony Edwards at 24 instead of 22 or 21 right now,
Yeah.
that's a different type of.
It's a whole different ball game, bro. It's a well. I tell you about. Let's talk about the places that are absolutely secure and locked down. Right.
Spurs. That's a given. Like
Spurs.
Popovich is. I'm not even to completely talk about his personal life, but basketball is the only thing that keeps Popovich sane, and he lost his wife, so
that's right.
He's all in. All in.
I think OKC is absolutely secure.
Yeah, Mark Daigneault, I think.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. I think Utah is absolutely secure.
The Kings are secure for at least the next 3-4 years.
Yeah, the Kings are secure.
Monty Williams.
Yeah, Phoenix is secure.
I don't know if I want to say the Bucks because it might not be dependent on Budenholzer. It might be dependent on that age. The roster is just very old.
So what do you mean? What are you getting at? Like
it's kind of like when the Lakers won a championship, they still got rid of their coach because there was just so much turnover in the roster.
So are you saying he's secure or not secure? Is what I'm getting at.
He's like in a bubble. He's like in a weird bubble.
So he's on neither side then.
Yeah, he's just floating in the air.
Oh, okay. All right. So in the Eastern, I'm sorry, not in the Eastern, but in the Atlantic Division, do you think Tibbs is safe?
Yeah. Well, no. It's hard. It's hard to completely say it because
he's on
reports were out that he was close to get fired.
On
if he would have lost
scorching hot seat. Yeah.
If we would have lost that remember that Mavs game we got blown out that we played the Cavs after.
Yep.
If we would have lost that Cavs game, he would have got fired.
Yep. So Tibbs is safe. What about Jack Vaughn?
Yeah, he's safe. They gave him a contract extension.
Okay, so Jack Vaughn is safe.
They're just gonna do the rebuild thing over.
What about the Boston coach?
Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah.
He's not going nowhere. They gave him an extension.
Okay, so the Celtics are good.
They gave him a contract. Like, he was interim. They saw how well they were doing under him, and they gave him a contract. So I think he's going to be there at least another 2 years, unless he does something
crazy,
absolutely heinous like the prior coach, which I don't see that in his character.
What about?
He looks very squarish.
What about Wes Unseld?
Oh,
the Wizards.
He might. I think they're gonna bring him back. They already announced that they're gonna bring him back, I believe. But he's on a hot seat.
I think he's a good coach too. Circumstances there are just ridiculous.
It's a lot of guys that play selfish basketball over there.
I think the front office there is terrible at drafting.
And they're terrible at giving contracts because that Bill contract is a handicapping contract.
Okay.
Giving that man 5 years, $250 with a no trade clause.
Oh my God.
That is mega star money. While he's not even a superstar, he's just a star.
He's just a yeah. What about Charlotte?
Oh, they just brought in that coach to
Tibbs. They just brought in Tibbs.
Yeah, so like he's still trying to reestablish the culture. That's his first year, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's due like 2 more years or something like that.
And Quinn Snyder just got there like 20 games ago.
And they gave him like a 4-year contract or something like that. So he's not going nowhere.
Right.
So I think Billy Donovan might get fired or something.
Billy Donovan in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put Bulls. Yeah, we have Bulls.
J.B. Bickerstaff is locked in. He's not going nowhere.
Right. What about Spoelstra?
He's locked in. What's his name? Pat Riley's loyal to a fault. So.
Yeah. All right.
He's so loyal. He gives out terrible contracts. That's the kind of loyal.
What about New Orleans? Willie Green.
He's safe.
You think so? I don't know,
Yeah,
bro.
I think he's safe.
They lost. They lost tonight, right?
It's circumstances, man. It's like Zion don't want to play basketball. If he had like when they had Zion, they were the number one seed.
Yeah, I think they're gonna.
A month in.
I think they're gonna blow it up.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're gonna
It's hard
blow
for
it
me.
up, bro.
I feel like they're gonna keep biding their time and try like one more year to hope Zion can play the whole year. If Zion can't do it after next year, then
No,
they're just
I think he's gone, bro. I think they're gonna trade everybody, including Brandon Ingram, and then start all over from scratch with all the draft picks they have.
Taylor Jenkins is locked in.
Super safe. Yeah, he's super safe. Grizzlies are super safe.
No Lakers job is safe, so I'm not even gonna.
Indiana.
He's gonna be there as long as he wants to be there.
Carlisle, because he is Indiana.
Yeah, I think he is like part of the front office. Like he's like the GM or something.
Yeah, so the Pacers are good. The Pistons, we already listed them. The Bucks, we already mentioned them.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls, we already listed them. What about the Timberwolves?
Chris Finch?
Yeah.
I think Chris Finch might get fired.
Okay, so we'll put T.
But this is like a thing where he might have to be like his head might have to get chopped off because of the GM's because of the GM's terrible decision in terms of roster management. Like he's gonna have to be the whipping boy for that.
Right. T-Wolves, Grizzlies.
Pistons.
Who else is in that Western Conference? Oh yeah, the Rockets. I already have them listed. The Mavs, I already have them listed.
Michael Malone might be on the hot seat if they don't go to the finals.
The Nuggets.
Because he's been there for like 9 years.
Yeah, and it might just be time for a change, right?
Right, and it's not even an indictment on him being a bad coach.
Right. Okay. What about Phoenix? No, Phoenix is safe.
No, he's
I think both LA coaches are safe.
You think?
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't ever move off Toronto?
No, I'm talking about for this year.
Okay, for the summer.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah,
okay.
For and I'm doing this with the mindset for they're safe for now, not safe forever.
Right. Because the Lakers, they could just wake up and change their mind.
Yeah, because it's the Lakers, bro. Yeah, because
I think Steve Kerr. You know Steve Kerr's not going nowhere.
Yeah. So that's just about everybody. So basically, there are about 8 teams that may consider, and about 3 teams
for sure.
3 teams for sure, and 5 teams are possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Johnny Bryant, do you wait? How long are you waiting for the Knicks to make you be let you be the head coach?
Right, and it's not even necessarily that he has a rep. He has a rep across the league. So if he were to decide to leave the Knicks organization, he'll fall right into an assistant head coach's lap job, like somewhere,
right,
or an associate job with ease, just because of his resume.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at a minimum, he's going to be that guy. But in terms of the comeuppance, then why would he stay when he can get the Philly job and get his hands on Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid?
Oh man, you know what I was thinking? I was wondering what Tyrese Maxey would have looked like underneath Johnny Bryant.
Yeah.
Because on his own, well, to be fair, Tyrese Maxey has Sam Cassell, which is a pretty damn good
Assistant.
scoring point guard.
Yeah, Anderson. Yeah.
Because if you, I've gone to a Sixers game before. I want to say 2.5 years ago,
Okay.
and Sam Cassell was hands on with, like, even though this kid wasn't playing at the time,
Right.
Sam Cassell was hands on, like giving him pointers before the game, before warm ups, and he wasn't even playing.
Right.
So Sam Cassell is partly responsible for a lot of Maxi's development.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. So with all of that said, chat, you heard all the options there. If you're Johnny Bryant, do you consider staying with the Knicks long term? And before you answer that, consider this: the Knicks have had a lot of high-profile assistant coaches under Leon Rose, and a lot of them have exited,
Yeah,
left for greener pastures.
went to win and got a check.
Yep.
A check or a bigger job or a bigger responsibility. If you
Yeah.
remember, Johnny Bryant was almost going to his alma mater.
Yeah. Yeah. And last summer, did
Utah
he?
interviewed him,
Yeah. Yeah.
but Utah is now run by former Boston Celtics, so he went and hired
A
a
former
Celtic
Boston
assistant.
Celtic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is part of that guy is indirectly part of the Popovich tree, which is everyone is
Yeah.
notable that has some part of Popovich in their
Yeah.
in their past, it seems.
Yeah. So what do you do? So what do you do if you're the Knicks to either entice Johnny Bryant to stay, or do you allow him to leave? Chat, do you allow Johnny Bryant to leave?
Oh, what up, Selly? Selly's in the chat.
Okay. Hey,
I haven't seen him in a
salute
while.
to Cell the next day. Yeah, man.
If you ask me, I'm giving him the job because in my mind, like, there's a finite ceiling with Tibbs. I don't know what the ceiling with Johnny Bryan is, but if it's anything like his improvement on young guards or wing players in terms of making them better individually, I'd like to see what he could do for the entire team in terms of his mental focus and
Okay.
drive and all these other things that make great coaches great. I'd love to see if he can be that next young assistant coach that ends up taking the mantle of the Knicks. Cough,
Right.
cough, Jeff Van Gundy.
Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah. Yeah. And
Hopefully he's not a quitter like Jeff.
oh, Jeff Van Gundy is a. You know Danny Ainge. I don't know if you know this about Danny Ainge, but Danny Ainge is kind of like the same way.
Like a quitter?
Yeah, like definitely a quitter.
A sore loser?
No, definitely a sore loser.
not even just that. It has to be definitely.
Yeah, definitive.
Further expound, because I know you got examples to pull.
Right. You know I wouldn't say it if there wasn't fact. If there wasn't fact supporting. Right.
There's multiple receipts.
Right. So what was? I'm gonna ask the chat. My chat's not moving for some reason. Let me refresh the chat because I hadn't seen selling or anybody.
Yeah, I think it's because of the StreamYard. Are you looking in StreamYard? Because I'm looking on YouTube. Like, I have your stream up, and I'm just looking at it that way.
I'm looking at it in OBS and it hadn't refreshed.
Yeah, it's weird because I think you started the stream so quickly back to back.
Yeah.
So, like, I had to pull up your actual podcast, like the actual Mix at Night on YouTube, just to see the chat on the right.
Yeah, that's odd.
Because that's why I refreshed initially, because I couldn't see anything.
Okay. Okay.
Just MacGyver it for now.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
open that up, and then pause it, and then just
yeah.
put it that way.
There we go. So now it's showing up. Okay. All right, everybody. Yeah, now I can see you guys. Now I can see you guys. There we go. There we go. Let me. Yeah. But yeah, Danny Ainge has quit in his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Ainge quit so bad that he changed sports.
Oh yeah, he was a baseball player.
Danny Ainge quit in the middle of a Toronto Blue Jays baseball game.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Danny Ainge could have been a great Toronto Blue Jay, but he was so mad with the structure of the Blue Jays that he quit and started playing basketball.
Luckily for him, he was decent at it.
Luckily for him, his skill set is exactly what one NBA team needed.
A dynasty team needed.
Yep.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time, bro. Right place, right time. Like when people look at the Celtics of the '80s, people think the Celtics of the '80s is built by draft picks. Nah, the Celtics of the '80s are built by former All-Star center for the Golden State Warriors, Robert Parrish, former All-Star point guard and champion of the Seattle Supersonics, Dennis Johnson, former Toronto Blue Jay, Danny Ainge, and the one draft pick they got right, or well, they actually got two right, in Larry Bird, but they traded for the right to draft Kevin McHale.
There's no such thing as a cap at that point.
No.
So the most powerful teams and the most money-laden teams got what they wanted, which is what the Lakers.
They will do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll basically do whatever it takes to win. But my thing is how comfortable are you with Johnny Bryant staying?
Well, like, what do I think? Like, his odds are staying? Or...
No. You already told me that part. You already told me that part.
Okay. I think I'm very comfortable with the idea of Johnny Bryant taking a mantle as being the head coach.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like, you never know how someone takes to that position, because you've seen guys dubbed to be, okay, maybe they should be great, like Fizdale, and they turn out to be just clowns.
Pretty much.
But he, like, Fizdale, I don't think he was ever known as an X's and O's guy or a skill development guy. He was a personality guy. He was a connections guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And
whereas Johnny Bryant has tangible receipts of players he's made better.
Well, you know what? Pat Riley is that same type of guy. Pat Riley's coaching staff is not X's and O's, because if you think about X's and O's, what did Pat Riley do X's and O's wise that outclassed any coach he ever coached against? Nothing. Pat Riley just got dudes to play their hardest. Riley,
but Freezie is. I mean, it's a different era of the NBA.
I
do you think that style would even work now?
No.
Because when we say that, like, he got the guys to play the hardest, it's because, like, he coached two polar opposite teams, the grindy Knicks teams of the mid '90s,
which was his
and then
personality.
the flashy finesse.
Which was the owner's personality, Dr. Jerry Buss. That was his personality.
It was
when
more
Pat
like managing egos and making guys selfless at that point, and being like a personality guy. That's like a people person.
Yeah,
which is a skill that's needed.
Yeah,
but it's not the most important now.
Yeah. When Pat Riley got to build things in his image, you notice Miami and the Knicks are eerily similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Eerily similar. But let me also speak to this real quick. I think you can only push this plan for so long before both sides come to this thing of, listen, man, why am I grooming this kid to take my job? Or on the other side, why do I have to wait here with y'all? The money is good. I can get the same money and be the man somewhere else.
Right.
So when you think about it,
With that resume and connections,
yeah,
he's good.
yeah.
Right where he goes.
Give you an example. Johnny Bryant can take the Houston job right now, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, well, why would Johnny Bryant take the Houston Rockets job right now? Well,
They got guards.
Johnny Bryant is you're right. You read my mind, right? And they are thirsty for a rebuild. Now, did Steven Silas get done dirty? Yes,
For sure.
Steven Silas got done dirty, right?
Sacrificial lamb.
Right, but so did Brett Brown. Brett
Mm-hmm.
Brown got done absolutely filthy, right? But he got to live out his dream as being an NBA head coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brett Brown, I think Brett Brown is somewhere. I can't remember where. I saw Brett Brown somewhere, but
He's an assistant coach somewhere.
Yeah, he is.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Brett Brown. Where is he at right now? Yeah, he's a Spurs assistant coach.
Bingo.
The Spurs aren't very good, so you don't see a lot of their assistant coaches.
Bingo. If Johnny Bryant takes the head coaching job, I want Brett Brown to be his assistant coach. Right? That's what I'd prefer. That way, if Johnny Bryant is in over his head and you got to fire him, you have a coach on the bench
That knows how to deal with young players.
Yep, and then at the same time, you want Johnny Bryant to be successful. You want him to be the guy for the next 5 to 7 years and be successful, right? But you need a Mike Woodson type guy in that role, kind of how the Nets did with Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You need that guy.
A stabilizing force that's been around decades.
Yeah, I like to call them old farts. You need an old fart in the room, right, to make sure everything, you know what I'm saying, stays.
Everything is copacetic.
Yeah, you remember that TV show Coach, where the football coach is and they had the older coach there with him as his friend / mentor?
I can't say I have. I might have been a little bit out of my range if it was in the 80s or something.
Coach?
When was this?
Oh, dude, Keith Turner, what we gonna do, bruh? What we gonna do, Keith Turner? Keith Turner, what we gonna do?
My earliest extent of remembering shows, it goes back to like Xena the Princess Warrior and Hercules. That's as far as I can go of memory. And Texas Walker Ranger.
Oh God.
And like Babylon 5.
Oh God.
That's as far as I go.
Okay.
Hey, if the Knicks don't go far in this playoffs, do you see Tibbs still being the coach of the Knicks next season?
You asking me or Freezie?
I'm asking both of you guys.
I think regardless of the outcome, I think Tibbs is gonna not be the coach.
If the Knicks get eliminated in the first round, I think Tibbs gotta go.
I don't think he's gonna get fired.
No,
he's just gonna be.
I think
it's gonna be an
something.
They're not gonna fire Tibbs. Even if we get swept, they're not gonna fire him. They might relocate him to another part of the organization, but Tibbs is not gonna be fired at this point. After this, no.
What's the point of
the culture?
He's responsible for making us respectable.
Yeah.
But
not a joke, a punchline.
What's the point of taking Tibbs out of his head coaching job and put him as an assistant coach? That doesn't make no sense.
But that's not what he said.
Well,
He's not. He's not
if
assistant. No, no.
Yeah.
if
Adam.
Tibbs
He's gonna.
if Tibbs wasn't coaching, what would he do on this Knicks team?
He can be a consultant, a front office guy,
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
and he has enough. He's forgotten more basketball than all of us know.
Yeah.
So, and I consider myself knowledgeable. I don't know diddly squat
Yeah,
compared to what he
I
doing.
consider Dre knowledgeable, but I promise you, Dre
Nothing.
knows less than 1% of what Tom Thibodeau knows,
Or
and that's
what
being
he's
super respectful to Dre. That's
and
being super respectful.
not even knows forgotten.
Right, 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 and yeah, because there are, and I'm talking about like all the knowledgeable people on YouTube. They know less than 1% of what Tom Thibodeau knows. You know what I'm saying?
When you're a basketball lifer like that,
Yeah.
it's just,
He's
just
been
different.
this is the dude that he coached. He coached Johnny Dawkins and Hersey Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? Some of and if I say those names and you don't know who they are, then you can't even question Tom Thibodeau's coaching. If I say Johnny Dawkins and Hersey Hawkins, and you don't know who those guys are, you can't even say Tom Thibodeau's name, right? This dude has been coaching for so long, right? But you know, like what we mentioned, the NBA is moving in a different direction, not the direction of get old people out the way, not that, because nobody is discriminating. But it's the old school mindset of NBA basketball. Because Mike Brown and Alvin Gentry have been ahead of their time for years. Alvin Gentry much more than Mike Brown, because they run the same offense. Alvin Gentry has been a head coach everywhere for years. Alvin Gentry's thing is he can't get teams to play defense because he values offense too much.
Right.
Right.
That's just his style.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, Lionel Hollins, who was a great NBA player too for the Portland Trailblazers, people forget how great he was, is a complete opposite. Will X and O you to death defensively.
Mm-hmm.
To death. Right? He's cutting off all passing angles, all driving angles, all jump shots you put up. Everybody's going to be boxed out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run plays, and he's going to force you to get if he played against us, he would force Mitchell Robinson to shoot an 18-footer, grab the rebound on the fast break, and go grind out a possession. Right?
It makes me pose a question for you. It's not too many black head coaches that coach in this league,
right,
that don't have a former player pedigree.
Okay.
It's a little bit harder to work your way up into that role.
Okay.
As a coach, even if you coached in college or successful,
okay,
as a black head coach, it's harder to get there without like a background of actually playing in the league or having, like Steven Silas's father,
right,
Paul Silas, has a reputation, and he was a coach and he was a player,
and JB Bickerstaff,
right, Bickerstaff as well. So it's like it's harder to do it as a black man.
So what's your question though?
Maybe that's probably the reason why he hasn't been afforded the opportunity yet, as opposed to his peers like Taylor Jenkins,
So
that are
and Mark Dagnall, right?
Yeah, and Hardy.
And Will Hardy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So basically, if you're asking me, is it difficult for any minority candidate to work their way up, do the coaching ranks without a pedigree?
Yeah.
Then when I throw this name out there, what will you tell me about this?
You might tell me Joe Mazzulla though.
I might tell you who. I'm sorry.
Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla.
But I'm saying it's hard, but When I mentioned Joe
but
Mazzulla, I can't think of anyone else off the top immediately.
you can't think of Jamal Mosley?
He doesn't have an NBA pedigree at all?
No, Jamal Mosley.
Oh.
No, man.
But how old is Jamal Mosley?
I don't know. I don't
I think
know.
he's in his mid-40s.
Oh.
But he's been around. He's been around for a minute, though.
Yeah. And we're talking about high-level basketball, right? Like Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd, M.A. Udoka, Chauncey Billups, Jock Vaughn.
Like Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher, yeah.
Like high profile.
Yeah.
Because profile also gets you in the door.
Yeah. And the reason why they have easier access is because they spend years around the game, and then if they're fortunate like a Kenny Payne, where you're a first round pick, you go play for a franchise that wins a championship, and you bounce around a little bit, you wind up going back to your alma mater, and then you work your way up, then you can kind of get around the game.
Someone said Wes Unseld Jr.
Wes Unseld.
You gotta tell him.
Yeah, Wes Unseld Jr. too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wes Unseld Jr. also.
So it's one of those things where it matters, but I feel like it's definitely harder to get your way through that part, like that industry, without having a title or a legacy attached to your name.
Or
So like you gotta work harder.
Yeah, kind of like a David Fizdale.
Yeah. Oh, Spoelstra was in the video room for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Before he even got to the bench.
Yeah, working 19-hour days.
Before tablets, so you know he was actually getting literal film, wasn't digital.
Yeah. So the thing with Johnny Bryant, man, real quick before I move off the topic and talk about the postseason predictions. How long do you stay? Do you want to let Johnny Bryant rot on the vine? Is Johnny Bryant the coaching equivalent to Obi Toppin?
Oh, that might actually be funny, but then Johnny Bryant has actually proven more in the league. Well, I mean, there's tangible results and testimonials from multiple All-Stars and All-Star caliber players that Johnny Bryant is the real deal. Whereas the most he's gotten out of Obi Toppin is late season scoring outbursts. Yeah, against teams that haven't really done much.
Pudge Nice, is Johnny Bryant going to be the coaching equivalent to Obi Toppin? I'm asking Pudge Nice. Are we legit going to let all this talent sit behind Tom Thibodeau and not let him be the guy?
He's the Julius Randle? Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau is the Julius Randle of this equation.
Man, that is actually an apropos comparison.
I'm asking, by the way, not a. I'm asking, and so while we deliberate on that, you ready for some postseason predictions?
Is it for just the Knicks, of course? Right?
No.
In total. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you some easy, in-depth questions, some easy ones. There'll be layups.
Okay.
There'll be layups. Right. Is Toronto eliminated from play-in?
They're done.
So Toronto is eliminated, right? So who does Chicago play Friday night? Atlanta? Miami?
Chicago.
Miami.
Chicago and Miami in Miami.
Oh, okay. What's your take on who wins or loses that game in Miami on Friday night?
I believe the Miami Heat win that game.
You think Miami, Adam, you think Miami wins that game also?
I hope they win to face the Bucks. That's going to be an interesting series.
Yeah, in terms of Friday night?
Who do you think was going to win? Not who do you hope? Who do you think is going to win?
who I think is gonna win,
Yeah.
I can see Miami winning.
Both of y'all have
Okay.
Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm there with both of y'all.
It took 18 free throws to get missed for the
Yeah.
Bulls to win by 4.
Right.
Yeah. Jack Levine, he came around in the second half.
Oh yeah, Zach LaVine balls for sure. No, not that.
He
But
really stepped up
Okay.
because DeRozan was struggling.
Okay. So y'all have Miami, and then Dre, if Miami wins that game, who do they play?
the
Milwaukee.
Bucks. Yep, the Bucks.
Who do you have winning that series?
The Bucks in like 5.
You have the Bucks in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Miami beating the Bucks.
Okay, let me get my bracket together. So I got a bracket here. Let me see. Bucks versus Heat is the prediction. Knicks versus Cavs. Celtics versus Hawks.
It's the Hawks. I see the Celtics
Right.
winning the next series.
Right. Hold on. Slow down. We don't want to talk. And then the Sixers
Nets.
versus Nets. All right. So y'all have the Bucks winning against the Heat. Who are you predicting in the Knicks versus Cavs?
The Knicks in 6.
The Knicks.
I say the Knicks in 5,
Ooh.
but I don't know. I don't know how that series is gonna play out.
Okay. All right. Celtics versus Hawks.
Celtics in 4.
Celtics versus the Hawks. I see the Celtics winning the next series.
Okay.
Celtics in
5.
4. I don't got them winning the game.
All right. Sixers versus Nets.
I'm rooting for
Sixers
Sixers.
Sixers in 5 only because the aberration, not the aberration, but the volatility of 3-point shot. All the Nets do is take it. So there's gonna be one game where they just shoot 45 to 50% and they just win just because
Okay.
the math equation.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see Brooklyn beating Philadelphia without KD and Kyrie.
Okay. All right. Celtics versus Sixers.
Celtics in 6.
Celtics. Adam, who do you have?
Celtics against who?
The Sixers.
Sixer.
I would say Celtics in 5.
Okay. So you have 5. And Dre, you said Celtics in 6?
Yeah.
All right. I'm also going Celtics there. All right. Bucks versus Knicks.
It pains me to say it. Bucks in 6.
You're saying Bucks in 6. Adam, who do you have?
I would say the Bucks in 5.
The Bucks in 5. I have the Knicks in 6.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Like
I was thinking the Knicks in 5, but that's not really believable. So I have the
This
Knicks.
is the second round.
yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I don't see the Knicks beat the Bucks.
Okay. Okay. All right. Celtics versus Bucks.
Oh.
That's
Provided
man.
everybody's healthy. It's gonna be a slugfest 7 games. Celtics in 7.
You're saying Celtics in 7. Adam, who do you?
I'm gonna say Celtics in 6.
All right, Celtics in 7, and Adam has Celtics in 6. So for the record, everything Dre said, Adam said the same thing except in 1 game sooner. All right.
I didn't even realize you were marking it down.
Yeah. So I had the Knicks winning over the Bucks, and in a series Knicks versus Celtics, I'm picking the Knicks in 6.
So we going to the finals.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's official. Uncle Freezie has the New York Knicks going to the NBA Finals.
Who they playing in the third round?
There it is. There it is,
We don't know
everybody.
who's going to be in the finals.
There it is. The Knicks over the Celtics in 6 games. and get ready for this magic carpet ride. Right? I predicted this, and so I know that there is a 98% chance that I'm wrong, but I also predicted this similar outcome in 2001, and I was
Did you
wrong.
really?
And I was wrong,
Wow.
and the only reason why I was wrong is because I picked the right path, but I picked the wrong team. I picked somebody in the Knicks versus Atlanta bracket was going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it wound up being Atlanta and not us. Right? I picked somebody. I kind of predicted how the things would play out, like how people would knock each other off or whatever. I think this season is the season where Giants will be slayed, right? But let's do this. Is New Orleans eliminated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Orleans is eliminated, right?
They are gone.
Yeah. Or so. All right. So who is? So the Lakers have to play.
They're playing the Memphis.
The Grizzlies.
Wait a minute. Who played in the play-in game tonight?
Well, the next playing game is going to be OKC against the Wolves in Minnesota.
Who do you have? OKC versus the Wolves.
Got the Wolves.
Adam, who do you have?
I'm going to say OKC.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Wolves.
They're getting their size back, and OKC is just too small.
Yeah. And I also think they are too talented to have another game like they had against the Lakers.
Right.
So
the game was close, and Anthony Edwards shot 3 for like 17.
Yeah, the game was close, and Anthony Edwards had the worst game of his life, right? But that means Denver versus who? That means Denver versus the Wolves, right?
Denver in 5.
You're picking Denver in 5.
Yeah.
I'm picking Denver in 4.
You think it's feasible?
Yeah,
Damn.
I think Denver in 4.
I'm picking Denver in 5.
Okay. All right. So both of y'all are going Denver in 5. All right.
Right.
What's the 4-5 matchup?
It is the Suns against the Clippers.
Suns versus Clippers. Okay.
We don't know if Paul George is back yet.
Okay. It don't matter. I'm picking. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm picking the Suns in 5. I'm saying even with a healthy Paul George, I would pick the Suns in 5.
Like, I don't think.
Yeah,
they're gonna shoot Paul George up with all types of stuff. Though.
Yeah.
I'm picking Suns in 5. Yeah.
Right.
I got the Suns in 4.
A Suns in 4. Right. I was going to go there, but I think Kawhi is going to have a Kawhi game. Right. All right. So who is the 3-6 matchup? I'm sorry, the 2-7 matchup. That's Memphis versus
Lakers.
Memphis versus Lakers. Okay.
Here's some context. The Lakers have the best record in the West after the All-Star break.
Okay. Memphis versus Lakers. Dre, who are you going in this matchup?
Memphis in 6.
Okay. Grizz in 6. Adam, who are you going?
I'm going to say Memphis in 6.
Memphis in 6. Okay. All right. And then the other matchup is Kings and Warriors.
Warriors in 5.
Wow. Warriors in 5? Are you sure?
100%.
Adam, who are you going?
I don't see Golden State sweeping Sacramento, but I see the Warriors in 5.
Warriors in 5. I'm going Kings in 6.
Well, you think they're gonna go up to? Well, I was gonna call it.
No, I know.
Chase Center and close them out in 6.
No, I'm thinking the Kings are gonna win both games in Sacramento, right? And then They'll win one in Oakland or Santa Clara or San
Oh,
Francisco
hell no.
or San Jose, wherever they playing at, and then they'll win the other two in Sacramento. I
Well,
can't see it.
I'm basing this on Andrew Wiggins being back, but you know.
And I'm basing it on Golden State basically being the worst road team in the NBA. The worst team that is good that is the worst on the road.
Well,
Right.
that's the regular season. The playoffs is a different animal.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that never had that particular spotlight.
Right. But let me
I'm
ask. I'm gonna ask both of y'all gentlemen this.
I don't think Golden State will show up on the road in the playoffs.
Go ahead.
They're gonna show up. That mean they're gonna win. They don't mean they're gonna win. Right. The thing is
we don't know that.
is well, okay. But the thing is what I think y'all are discounting is the Sacramento home environment. Y'all remember what Sacramento is like? What Sacramento is like when Sacramento is playing a home playoff game?
Yeah. I remember. I don't know if Adam probably does, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely remember.
Yeah, man, listen.
The old Arco
is bananas. Bro, I don't think the Denver Nuggets can go in there and win.
You saw the Kings have the second most expensive playoff tickets behind the Knicks.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't think the Nuggets can go in there and win. If they make it that far in these predictions, I'm not giving the Denver Nuggets a playoff win in at Sacramento. Right? I honestly believe.
But my whole thing is really like, at some point you got to be able to get stops in. They're not a good defensive team. Like in the highest forms of basketball, at the highest end, maybe not the first round. It's not as important. Once you get the second, third, and the finals, you need to be able to get stops in there. Terrible defensive team.
And you know what? And I would have absolutely been with you with that. That is the prevailing train of thought. But who would know more about getting stops against the Warriors than a guy that had been on their staff for years?
Yeah, but like knowing how to get stops against the Warriors is different than actually doing it.
Right. Nobody's going to stop Steph Curry. Nobody's going to stop Steph Curry, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like for instance, the Boston Celtics had a top 3 defense in the league, and they knew how to stop the whole beautiful ball movement Warriors, and then Steph Curry decided to override all that and just run a ton of pick and roll, and then there was nothing you could do.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll see in 2 weeks. We'll see in 2 weeks, right?
We'll see. Well, I mean, in my mind, you're gonna see in a week and a half because that series is in 5.
Oh well, yeah, that too. And listen, and as a human, as an Earthling, I reserve the right to not be perfect.
Right.
So you know.
Me too.
So where are we at in the West right now?
There's one more series you never mentioned, I don't think.
Hold on. All right. No, we've done the first round, right? And we've all picked Denver, and we've all picked the Suns, and we've all picked Memphis, right?
Yeah.
And where we split hairs is the Kings and the Warriors, right?
Right.
And so what we're at the Grizzlies versus Warriors matchup for y'all.
I'm gonna say Golden State in 5.
I got Golden State in 7.
Y'all have the Warriors. Okay, y'all have the Warriors beating Memphis and the Warriors into the Eastern Conference Finals. In 7. I mean Western Conference Finals. Yeah, Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then there is a Suns versus Nuggets matchup.
Ooh. Suns in 6.
Yep, I agree.
And Mike Malone gets fired.
I'm gonna say the same. Phoenix in 6.
Suns in 6. Okay. All right. All right. I got the Suns also. Right? And then you guys have Suns versus Warriors.
I got the Suns
You got the Suns?
in 6.
I got Golden State in 6.
All right, you have Warriors, and I have Suns in 6 also. So based on this prediction, you guys have Celtics versus Suns.
Yeah, or me, yeah. But
So,
you might have Suns against the Knicks.
I have a different thing. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to mine.
Okay.
I just want to go with the majority first, and then I'll go with my oddball stuff.
Okay.
So you have Celtics versus Suns. What are you predicting?
Oof. Suns, as much as it pains me, Suns in 6.
All right, Adam, who do you have?
I'm going to say Celtics in 6.
I don't have that much faith in the Celtics in the
Okay.
finals stuff.
So you have Celtics. Dre has Suns in 6. So Adam, your NBA champion is the Boston Celtics.
But you saying the Celtics going to make the NBA Finals?
No,
You said it.
That's not what I said. That's what you said.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Dre, and you have the Phoenix Suns as your NBA champs.
Yep. And I'm a Chris Paul hater, by the way. And it pains me. I hate Chris Paul.
All right,
so much.
So I'm gonna throw a fly in the ointment, right? So I'm gonna put my bracket out there for those that are following along. I have it written down on the pad, so hopefully it won't get destroyed, within the next 2 months, right? So I have,
might as well take a picture of it.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna finish it first, and then take a picture of it and post it. Post it on the homepage.
On the community page.
Yeah.
Wait. You in the East? You said the Knicks are in the NBA Finals, right?
Who said that?
Freezie?
Yeah, I'm getting to that right now. I'm getting to that right now.
Okay.
I'm getting into that right now. But the fly in the ointment with y'all, with where we diverge a little bit, is in that Kings Warriors matchup. Y'all pick the Warriors. I'm picking the Kings cruising. I think, and the reason why I picked the Kings in a cruising scenario is at some point dynasties have to end, and they don't always end well, right? In the case of the Bad Boy Pistons, the New York Knicks bullied them around and beat them at their style so much that Pistons team gave up, and they broke that team up afterwards because the Knicks were the new bad boys of the East. And I know a lot of people don't remember that, but I remember that, right?
And that's all that matters.
Yep. And I also remember that Celtics team that was so dominant in the 80s had their run ruined by, the same New York Knicks that bullied them into the lottery, right? Like nobody remembers the Reggie Lewis, John Bagley, Dominique Wilkins, Dino Raja Celtics, right? Because the Knicks made them that. And I think this year, Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings are going to end that dynasty. Like nobody remembers how the San Antonio Spurs dynasty ended. It was because the Golden State Warriors ended their dynasty, right? The Golden State Warriors ended the San Antonio Spurs dynasty.
They put a scare into them first before they did it.
Yep.
Then they did it.
Right? And I know what you get at, Dre. You're saying the scare is this year and maybe next year it happens. But what I'm saying to you is Nobody remembers Tony Parker's last 2 years in Charlotte.
He probably doesn't even remember.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Nobody remembers, you know what I'm saying, Boris Diaw on other teams and all of that stuff. What I'm getting at is this year is the year that you see the dynasties, which is the Golden State Warriors. You see that end this year because a team basically took what they do and did it better. That's basically all it boils down to. A team did it the way they do it, but did it better. And you, as a king, you only reign for so long, right? And the Golden State Warriors were the king of the Western Conference, and this year, I think the Warriors dynasty comes to an official end, and then you'll see them start to rebuild and things of that sort, start playing their kids, right? And the matchup between Memphis and the Sacramento Kings, I think the offensive potency of Sacramento is too much for Memphis, because what it's going to come down to, in my mind, is what it's going to come down to is a lot of high-scoring overtime games, and the Kings are built for that, and Memphis is not. And so for that reason, I have the Sacramento Kings versus Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference or in the Western Conference Finals, and I think the Suns, with a Kevin Durant entering the downside of his career, with a Chris Paul entering or being in the downside of his career, understanding their mortality, muster up their last hurrah, their OK Corral, and make it to the NBA Finals. And so while I'm picking the Suns to come out of the West,
it's a different route.
Right? Yeah. While I pick the Suns to come out of the West, I'm picking the most major of, because the Kings beating the Warriors is going to be an upset, even though the Kings are on paper are the better team, right? And they have the better record, and they have the home court advantage. But the upset of all upsets is the New York Knicks over the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reason for it is, the reason why I say that is because I saw something in the eyes of the Bucks against the Knicks that has me thinking that they don't want to see us. I honestly believe the Milwaukee Bucks are praying that Cleveland beats the Knicks so they don't have to face us, right? Because I saw how back in November, I think it was the November game, I saw where Giannis ignored his coach and went begging to the referee for calls, begging with his palms to the sky. Like, how can you let them do this to me? I'm Giannis, basically. And I think Giannis understands this Bucks team's mortality. I don't think the Knicks should fear Jay Crowder. I don't think the Knicks should fear Chris Middleton. I don't think the Knicks should fear Brook Lopez. I don't think the Knicks should fear Javon Carter or Drew Holiday or Grayson Allen or Pat Connaughton or Bobby Portis. I think they're winning a championship with smoke and mirrors. They have a Giannis, and the rest of the roster is a bunch of dudes, and I think the Knicks are going to exploit that. Right? And the second biggest upset, and one that won't be an upset to Knicks fans, but will be an upset to the NBA universe, is the Knicks beating the Boston Celtics in 6 games. And the reason why I think the Knicks will beat the Celtics in 6 games is because I don't believe that the Celtics roster can make the NBA Finals on autopilot. Meaning, I don't believe that the Boston Celtics can make the NBA Finals in back-to-back years with a rookie head coach in each season. Because in a rookie If they legit,
Well, Freezie, if they're in autopilot, then they're losing to the Sixers.
yeah, right, they may lose to the Sixers, bro. They
Wow.
may, but for someone to say they have confidence in the Celtics with another rookie head coach, to me is a stretch, because I think coaching has a lot to do with how you win championships. It's not everything, but it's a major part, right? And
It's like maybe 25 to 30%.
yeah, and so for the NBA Finals, I have the Phoenix Suns and New York Knicks, right? I have the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks, and what I'm going to say about the NBA Finals is the Knicks lose in the NBA Finals to the Phoenix Suns, and of course, you guys
They
want
have
me.
a Durant and we don't. That's what it was.
No. That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm. That's the icing on the cake. What I'm gonna say, the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes is this. They have a point guard that can exploit Tom Thibodeau's ice pick and roll. Right? If you're frustrated that power forwards and small forwards get wide open threes on the weak side of an offensive play, imagine when they have Landry Shamet in the short corner, Devin Booker at the top of the key, and Kevin Durant is on that weak side getting that wide open pass from Chris Paul. That's all I have to say about that.
And if you don't react to it, Chris Paul's just gonna take his 13 to 15 footer.
Yeah, and DeAndre Ayton is gonna have 26 and 15. Yeah, so it's pick your poison. Do you allow Landry Shamet to bomb away in the short corner? Do you let Devin Booker erupt for 50, or do you allow Kevin Durant to get isos on the other side, the weak side of the floor against R.J. Barrett?
I would, as bad as painful as it would sound, it would behoove you to just try to make Chris Paul be the scorer the entire time.
Right, but he won't.
Hopefully he wears down. That's the only option.
But yeah, I thought about that too. As I was thinking about this earlier, the best thing to do would be to put quickly on Chris Paul, right? And then move Chris Paul off of his spot. But we're talking about a top 5 point guard all time versus a dude that's coming off our bench.
But like you mentioned, sometimes when dynasties end, it doesn't end pretty. When Hall of Fame players' careers end, they don't always end pretty.
Right, they don't. But this right here is not a dynasty.
Yeah, but I'm talking about individual players.
Yeah.
Like you get for instance, Karl Malone. He got hurt and then he completely fell apart in that final.
Remember he tore his Achilles.
I don't believe it was his Achilles.
Yeah, it might have been his ACL, but he tore some leg thing against the Lakers and his career was over.
But this is the thing. I'm making this assertion that Chris Paul may not stay healthy, but their small point guards tend to get hurt.
Right. But Chris Paul is not small. He's short.
Yeah, but if we're keeping it a buck, like 3 out of the last 5 playoff runs he's had, he's not hurt.
But he didn't have a Kevin Durant.
True.
Right.
He had a James Harden.
Yeah, he had a James Harden. Yeah.
Prime James Harden. Peak James Harden. Entire offense James Harden.
Right. And so what I'm saying is I think there is a way that the Knicks can make the NBA Finals, and this is not just something to talk about. Look at these series for what they are, and don't look at people's reputation. And I know as fans we always look at guys' reputation. Well, they're the Bucks.
What about coaching reputation?
Yeah, I know. I take that into account too. Does Budenholzer give you the impression that he is a top 5 coach remaining in this playoffs?
Well, I'd have to see who's
like if you had to pick one, would you rather have Spoelstra or Budenholzer?
Spoelstra.
Yeah, see where I'm going.
But I feel like the gap isn't that wide because I feel like he turned a corner in that playoff run when he lost Giannis.
Right.
In terms of his in-game decision making and his feel for adjustments, I feel like he definitely turned the corner because before he would just run the same thing over and over and not adjust to what his opponent's throwing at him.
Yeah. See.
But he's changed a bit in my eyes.
Right. Right.
But maybe that change isn't enough.
See, and this is this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel you, bro. But you know, just to keep it a buck though. I don't wanna put people's reputation. I don't want to give people's reputation. Like for instance, I give you a reputation comment, right? Where is it? I saw somebody's comment. Keith Turner says, "Are you serious?" Yes. Yep. Keith Turner said, "Yep, got us on the finals run." Yes. Eric Sirio said, "A MVP versus Randall. Good luck." When's the last time Giannis won MVP?
I mean, 2 years ago, but Giannis is still the best player.
Giannis is still in.
Let's not get it twisted. Like some of those awards are narrative.
Right.
Because if Emmanuel quickly doesn't win Six Man of the Year, you know he's the best Six Man of the Year. Just narratives might be giving it to him.
Right.
Like this particular narrative that Brogdon played every game off the bench.
So let's not play the games. Let's just crown them.
Well, I'm keep it.
Hey, Dre, your mic going in and out.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Fix it. Giannis is the best player on the planet.
Yeah.
I don't care about what the awards say. Giannis in a 7-game series, without his number two, damn near beat the Celtics that went to the finals last year by himself.
Right.
While Drew Holiday's shooting like 25%.
Okay.
So I'm not about to misconstrue things and get it twisted. Giannis in a 7-game series is terrifying, even when he has underperforming role players next to him.
Right.
Yep. And he's terrifying. Hey, can I say something? First of all, Freezie, you feel that there's a way for the Knicks to make it to the NBA Finals? It's not going to happen.
Let's stop.
It's a matter of opinion.
Let's
stop. It's a matter of opinion.
Just stop what we doing right now in the live stream. Don't even play these NBA games, and just give the trophy to Milwaukee.
No,
and Adam and the thing too is before y'all super criticize me to think I know better than most of everybody here is basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know Knicks basketball.
No, I don't know Knicks basketball.
Basketball. Period.
I know basketball. Period.
Okay, but you feel that the Knicks have a way to make it to the NBA Finals? I don't see it.
Yeah, but you don't see it. But
I don't see it because they have to go through not two, but 3 tough teams.
Right, and so does the NBA champion.
Yeah, in order to be the NBA champion, you gotta do tough things unless you're running against a bunch of injured teams or something.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
If you're asking me, no, I'm gonna make it real quick. If you're asking me, I'd rather see Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals against Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors.
Adam,
that's what I want to see.
Adam, but you just questioned me about having the Knicks in the finals.
Yeah. What he wants to see, and I guess.
No, I'm saying if the Knicks can find a way to get to the NBA Finals, I would like to see them against the Golden State Warriors.
What I'm saying to y'all is this. Of course, these teams have reputations. Of course they do. They've earned these reputations. They've earned them. Right? They've earned them. But this is the same group of people that fill out March Madness brackets every year only to see their March Madness brackets get destroyed early. It's the same group of people that bet on who the champion is and make preseason. This is the same group of people that said that the Knicks might win 41 games.
This is true.
This is the same group of people that said Jalen Brunson won't move the needle for the Knicks. Trust me, I know. I do a show on YouTube. I read y'all comments. Like, we are here in chat. I'm talking to y'all now. I'm not talking to Adam. I'm talking to the chat. Chat, y'all are the same ones that said, nah, Jalen Brunson don't move the needle. Right? 70% of y'all were mad that we didn't get Donovan Mitchell in a trade. I know. I put a poll up and y'all voted. And now we here in April. Now we here in the middle of April, like, oh man, the Knicks are not gonna do. Nah, don't shuffle your feet now. I seen y'all. I put polls out there. I got y'all comments on tape. I hate to be the receipt guy. But how y'all gonna get to April and then be like, well, this was a nice little story and it might come to an end? We've been doing a channel now for 2 years, and now in April, y'all shuffling y'all feet. You know what I'm saying? This was the same group of people who were like, nah, Jalen Brunson don't move the needle. The backcourt is too small. These are the same narratives from last summer. Tom Thibodeau got to go. Tom Thibodeau is not a good coach. All these things, I heard all this stuff, right? And now in April, we like, man, the Knicks don't stand a chance. Man, I just don't see it, right? These y'all the same ones, and I'm not calling y'all out being disrespectful. I know a lot of people when they get called out, they leave. They're like, oh, Uncle Freezie mean, he do the chat dirty. No, I don't. What I'm saying is we all have we've been having these same conversations all year. Some of the people, Dre, some of the people that are called out, they probably left. They probably clicked off Uncle Freezie tripping. Right? They the same ones that said Jalen Brunson can't play defense. Jalen Brunson too short. Now in April, we the 5th seed, have a good shot against Cleveland. And they're like, how you going to predict the Knicks to have a fighting chance against them other guys? Right? What I'm saying is no one knows what's going to happen when the playoffs start. Nobody knows. Our record is not like their record because of circumstance. Right? This team is not the Orlando Magic overachieving, a nice little story. Jalen Brunson legit could have been and possibly should have been an All-Star. That means this team could have had 2 All-Stars. And now in April, we like, yo, nah, this team don't stand a chance.
In any other normal season, Brunson would be up for All NBA.
Yeah.
Just loaded with guards right now.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie to you to say that the Knicks don't stand a fighting chance just because other teams have done it and we have not. The only teams that have done it, the only difference between us and the teams that have done it is they had the opportunity to do it and we have not. Right? And truth be told, me, Adam, Greeny, Corey Lee, we sat through the Milwaukee games and we saw the fear in Milwaukee eyes. We saw Brook Lopez hit Hail Marys over an outstretched Mitchell Robinson in order for them to win the game. We saw Drew Holiday getting his Steph Curry bag against Quentin Grimes before we had Josh Hart. We saw that. We saw Giannis going to the referees begging and then start his march to the free throw line, getting every call. We saw it. We saw it with our own eyes. We saw the fear in their eyes.
But still, the Bucks find a way to beat the Knicks.
Right. Right. Have the Knicks made adjustments since then?
I'm not about to just completely disregard and say we have no chance. I just think one team. I think they'll beat us, but I don't see it like a wash or anything like that.
Right. No, I don't. I'm not predicting the Knicks to beat the Bucks 4-1.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, tactically, I saw Brook Lopez on a catch and shoot, barely get a shot off before Mitchell Robinson swatted it, barely get it off, splash. Right now, what I'm saying is, are you saying the Bucks have to do that every game in order to get rid of the Knicks? If that's what they're dependent on, if that's how they beat us, I'll eat my words. Right? If Brook Lopez barely getting a shot off over an outstretched Mitch is how they have to beat us, I'll take that L. Right? If Drew Holiday shooting step back, and one was step back and fade away at the same time. He faded away on it over an outstretched Quentin Grimes. Are y'all telling me that Grimes is not better from December to April? I would say Quentin Grimes is a better player from January to April. I think Quentin Grimes has improved. I'm putting my money on Quentin Grimes improving, and I'm putting my money on Josh Hart having something to say about that going forward. All those offensive rebounds, they grab it. Man, all them lucky rebounds they get. Man, they getting rapid offensive rebounds, kicking it to Brook Lopez in the corner, and then Mitch Robinson scrambling out there. I put my money on things looking a little bit different. I think the front office was smart enough to understand that if we're losing to the Bucks on stuff like that, that stuff is easy for us to fix. We can go out and get a fix for that, right? And then the Boston Celtics, y'all saw us manhandle the Boston Celtics this season. The one game they beat us, they shot like 97% from three on like 2,000 attempts. And that's hyperbole, of course. That's hyperbole, of course, but y'all remember that Saturday. Adam, do you remember that Saturday night when the Boston Celtics shot the lights out from three, where they attempted like 53s and they shot like 70%? No team does that on a nightly basis. And then the other games we played them, they lost. In the other games the Boston Celtics played against us, we beat them without Jalen Brunson. Does anybody remember the Knicks beating the Celtics in overtime without Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, we beat the Celtics twice in the regular season.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So we look at the Boston Celtics logo and just lay down on our sword because we're scared of the leprechaun. We fear the deer. We fear the deer? We're scared of the leprechaun? Well, I mean, what are we doing out here? We may as well, we may as well not even play the games. Boston doesn't send shivers up my spine. Right? They don't. The only team in the Eastern Conference, and I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. The only team that in this Eastern Conference I feel like we have zero chance of beating in a 7-game series is Philadelphia. It's the only team. And it's not even because of James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. It's because their offensive system, that pick and roll, James Harden is able to hit guys like Georgie Niang for three. And it's just the kryptonite to the defensive system that we run. That's it. I don't fear Joel Embiid because if Joel Embiid scores 50 and Harden scores 50, I think this team could still score 130 on the Sixers. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying ultimately is I love this chat, bro. I love the chat. All I'm saying is cats in the chat be like, yo, Uncle Freezie be flip flopping and all this stuff, and I'm like, do I really flip flop, or do I like to hear stuff from both sides? But when I listen to y'all say stuff on both sides, I take into account what I'm hearing, and I store it. I listen to the chat. I read the chat, right? And I give y'all respect. I shout y'all out. I take into account what y'all say. But the stuff that y'all say in September versus the stuff that y'all are saying in April,
two different things.
I'm saying is two different things. I'm saying it's two different things. You got you because we said it all. We were like RJ sucks, but yet RJ Barrett averaged 19.5 points a game. We're like Julius Randle is the third option on the championship team, yet this team is the 5th seed. Right? We say Tom Thibodeau can't adjust. Tom Thibodeau had 2 9-game winning streaks in the same season. Right? We're mad because we didn't get Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell, for all his efforts, right, with a dynamic backcourt player, with a great rim protector, with a high lottery pick that's blossoming into maybe a star, is only 4 games better than us. Right? So instead of us looking at all these different things, making excuses for us to lose, can we at least be open to a conversation where the Knicks may be able to win? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Other teams do it. Atlanta made the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago.
Eastern
Conference, I'm sorry. East,
yep,
West, I don't know. It's early in the morning. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And my bad for hogging the microphone, man.
You're good, man. It's your show, number one chief.
Yeah,
it is your show.
You
gotta remember that.
Yeah, it is.
You're the boss, Freezie. You could talk for hours. We'll just be here.
Well, nah, I ain't saying that. I ain't
gonna talk your head off. No, I ain't gonna talk your head off.
I ain't gonna sit here and let Freezie say whatever he wants. Right? I gotta get mine off a little bit.
Yeah.
No, you know the boss is gonna eventually give us the mic.
Yeah, and so what I'm getting at ultimately is it's this: we give other teams all the flowers on what they might potentially do, and then when it comes to the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, we re-embrace our PTSD and think about Julius Randle 2 years ago, right? Not thinking that how bad that roster was flawed, and not thinking about our starting center was out.
Right.
In that series, with our starting center, I think we beat Atlanta. But that's water under the bridge.
We at least stifle that pick and roll.
Yeah.
To make Trae Young think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was just getting to that floater whenever he wanted.
And think about game one. Game one when we lost. You know who the center was?
We barely lost that game.
You know who the center was on that play that we gave up that shot to Trae Young?
Noel?
Taj Gibson.
Oh yeah, it was Taj.
Why
was Taj Gibson in the game?
Because Mitchell Robinson was hurt.
But we had Noel.
Yeah, him, Noel, and Taj Gibson was sucking in the middle of the court.
Oh my God!
They both were terrible.
We really had Taj Gibson closing game outs.
Yeah, we had Taj. That's what I'm saying. Now we have Mitch, and for bro, what I'm saying is to the chat is there were a lot of narratives said from the end of the season last year, this time last year, to today, right? And all I'm saying is give peace a chance, right? How in the world are we gonna? How in the world are we going to advance as a fan base, as a organization, and all that stuff when we can see that everybody is always better than us? We go into competition thinking everybody's always better than us. No, we can't do it. The Bucks wear green. We can't beat the Celtics. The Celtics wear green. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man. At some point, you got to think back to the. And I know the regular season doesn't mean you're the champ, but during the regular season, you figure out things against your opponent, and you learn how to exploit it. And I think we figured out stuff against the Celtics, and we've exploited it. And I think we figured out stuff against the Bucks, and we will exploit it. And I think the Bucks know this. It's the main reason why they gave up so much to get Jay Crowder in here. In there, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Think about it. These dudes went out and got Jay Crowder. How y'all gonna say Jay Crowder gonna? Y'all added Jay Crowder gonna beat us? That's who we scared of. We scared of Jay Crowder.
I'm only scared of Giannis. That's about it. Hey, nobody else on that roster.
We scared of Jay. We scared of Jay Crowder, Bobby Portis, and Pat Connaughton.
Man, nobody's. Even Jay Crowder hasn't played in the last few games of this regular season.
Is that what? Are we fearing? Are we fearing Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon? Sam.
I actually fear Derek White more than Malcolm Brogdon.
Hey, bro,
Brogdon can't stay in front of any of my guards. Oh, and I'm 100% serious.
No. It's
gonna wind up like if you were to.
He's the right-handed R.J. Barrett. He's the right-handed R.J. Barrett, bro.
He's just a much better shooter.
Yeah, well, that too, but he's also older. So.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where it's gonna be in the playoffs. Derek White's gonna gobble up a lot of minutes that Brogdon has. Like Brogdon might be playing 15 to 20 minutes, and Derek White's
right back,
playing anywhere from 30 to 35.
Yeah, I would say the main key for the Knicks to beat the Celtics is by shutting down Tatum, Brown, and don't allow Marcus Smart to get those ticky-tack fouls on you. Because that's what he does best. He gets these officials to call these mediocre fouls on Knicks when he's the one that's creating them.
I can agree with that to a certain extent, but
yeah,
I think the most important thing in terms of guarding the Celtics is stop protecting the 3-point line. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because they are a high volume 3-point shooting team that shoot it at a high clip. So that's the biggest thing. And I feel Freezie on a lot of points. Like there's no reason to fear a lot of these teams, but there's only really one player I fear in the entire NBA. And to be honest, that's about it. Because of the way he plays so physical. He puts your entire front court in foul trouble.
Right.
And it's not necessarily something you want to have happen, especially when our strength is in front court. And our strength being on front court, you need them to be aggressive. And when Giannis gets going, he makes it very hard to be aggressive.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is the Knicks will have to prove me wrong that they can get past Cleveland and move to the second round.
Well, you said you had the Knicks beating them.
Yeah, I did, but again.
Then how are they going to prove you wrong if you have them already winning?
Again, we just have to wait for the series to begin to see how the Knicks are going to match up against these Cleveland Cavaliers. Remember, playoffs is a different ballgame.
And another thing, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah,
I don't fear any team. I'm just very wary of Giannis. That's the only thing, because he is the biggest equalizer,
right?
Out of any player in the league, in my mind. That's the only guy.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't not respect Giannis. Right. I don't not respect Giannis. Right. I'm just at a point where I feel like the Knicks, who may not be ready for the big time, does have a puncher's chance.
I think they have more than a puncher's chance. A puncher's chance feels like dumb luck sometimes.
Yeah.
And the way we play is not based off of luck. It is hedging our own bets. Okay. It is controlling the possession game. It is controlling the glass. That's not punches. That's strategy. Now, if the strategy works or not, that's another thing. But like when we say just a puncher's chance, it's like a wild swing that connected. Nah, the way we play it is very disciplined.
Okay.
It would be like, I don't even know how to compare it, but it would be like us being a extremely underdog defensive fighter going against a power puncher that hasn't really lost or hasn't really been tested in a while. That's how I kind of view it. And like certain teams would overlook us, and that's when we would take advantage of them. But like,
do you think Cleveland is overlooking us?
I don't believe so. The way the coach is talking, no.
Okay.
From all the snippets from how the coach talked, I think they're not overlooking. They recognize the real threat that we are, and I think the bigger staff knows that their team isn't necessarily the greatest against teams that are over 500. Like them. So like when it comes to playing against a focused team that has an identity and something they stick to, it's a little bit harder for them to win because they're just so top heavy.
Right. No doubt.
Now, when we talk about like the Bucks or like the Celtics, they would probably try to overlook us. Yeah. Regardless of whatever regular season wins we get, they wouldn't honor it until we get into game one and we already punched them in the mouth. Then that's what I think. For those types of teams.
Yeah.
But for like a team that is clearly on our level, or we might be a little bit ahead of them, they're not overlooking us for sure. It's all hands on deck with those teams.
Yeah.
Hey Freezie, I'm gonna get offline, man. I appreciate you having me on Knicks at Night, per usual.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here also, so that I can get ready for the Knicks morning drive.
Right.
So that I can, because sometimes it's two different crowds. So I'm gonna get ready for them so I can say that Adam and Dre said we don't have a chance.
Oh, don't do that.
I ain't
I mean, you can put my name on it.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'll be respectful. I'll be respectful. Yeah, man.
Are you gonna post some of these questions to the morning drive crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
I actually want to see what their reception is to it.
I actually had a thing. The Johnny Bryant thing is intriguing to me, and I want to do postseason award predictions, like league MVP and all NBA teams, and
I might want to be a part of that
and see what they think.
And I think all NBA teams is going to be a little bit harder because you're naming so many players. Like you just due to like forget someone, like it's kind of hard.
If Julius Randle is left off the All NBA team, bro, there should be a riot.
Oh yeah, he's gonna make it though. I'm not even worried about that. Yeah. He's gonna make it.
Yeah, we hope so.
There aren't 9 better forwards / centers in the league than Brandon.
No.
But
we are New York though.
Yeah, but Freezie, it will be like an extreme stretch. Like he's gonna be on the second team.
Right. Okay.
I think he's gonna be on the second team.
I think,
Not even the third team.
I think Anthony Davis and LeBron might push him down.
I don't believe so because they didn't play that many games. They like the voters take into account some like context like games and stuff like that, which bolsters Randall's point, which is why Randall made the All NBA second team because he was always available.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get out.
And guys and my bad, like in other forwards, which are perceived as better, didn't play that much, so they fell down.
Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler's, they're gonna get love.
I don't think they're gonna get more love than Randall as far as the NBA.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
Brandon Ingram's.
We'll
see.
Kevin Durant's.
Durant's not gonna make it.
Okay.
Two little games. He only played 47 games.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here, man. We'll see y'all for the